Hmm. So now what was happening, I'm just repeating it again. When we're trying to post the withholding tax code here, system is giving me a table which was non-editable. In that sense, system is not capturing the withholding tax data which we have updated in vendor master. Okay, this is the vendor master where we have updated the withholding tax type codes and all, but still system is not capturing it. So one thing which we have did so far on that day, we have changed the field status group so that it can capture the withholding tax amount. So now after that change in field status group, system is capturing that tab. Okay, the capturing that values, but it is not capturing the values. It is capturing the tab and table only. So what was missed from that day? There is a change. This is where we have mapped the company code with withholding tax type C4, okay, which is used in this vendor code configuration, vendor code updation of withholding tax type. So where we have updated C4 over there, but here we have not allowed it to capture in vendor data. This is the tab for capturing in customer data, and this is the tab which we need to allow for capturing in vendor data. So here we have not mapped the validity period. From what date this tax code, this withholding tax type is allowed in this country, in this company code. So now we have changed this. We have allowed in vendor data withholding tax agent, and we have withholding tax obliged from the period we have mentioned here from 1/4/2019 is applicable up to the date of the last date of this decade. So this is something double nine we have mentioned. So up to the infinite period, this would be applicable in our company code. Okay, so this was the thing which was missed. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to post a vendor master here. First of all, we have received the error with respect to document number range. So I'm just going to map it, and then we are going to post. So document type which we are going to use while posting vendor invoice. What is that document type? What is the document type which we are going to use while posting the vendor invoice in system?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So now we are going to change the number range which has been mapped. SPRO. Yes, document range. It's not that. 4 is saying the other company code C101. Create, edit 04 2021 0044 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 0044 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 enter interval without overlap. It is overlapping. Yeah, it is overlapping. So where up to 9 I have used. $44.99. So what I will do, I will change it. Amount 1 lakh. Text is, say for example, some legal invoice or free rent invoice booking we are doing. Okay. Expense is rent expense account we are going to capture. Okay, so now the system is capturing the withholding tax type which we have updated for this vendor code. Okay, we have mapped this vendor master. In this vendor master, we have mapped this configuration. Where it has gone? Yeah, here. So C4, C5 is mapped. One is for invoice while posting, while deducting TDS at the time of invoicing, and second condition was while deducting TDS at the time of making payment to the vendor. So one is for invoice. So we have did so far. Now these are the two conditions which has been mapped. Now here is the option where you can change the withholding tax base amount or withholding tax amount as well. So in that case, if the rate has been changed, if something, the base value has been changed, if you want to change the base value, the amount of TDS you want to calculate it outside the system, that you can also do it here. You can just have to mention the TDS amount, whatever is allowed to it. Okay, whatever you are calculating outside. If you want to calculate outside, you can do it. Or if you want to get it done through system only, just remove this because of it is we are deducting TDS while making invoice to the vendor. Okay, so we have selected the first option which is applicable for invoicing. Just enter it and simulate. Oh, sorry. Section code is also required, but system will deduct the TDS, but section code details are also required to be captured here. So I have created one section code. Yes, I'm showing you. I have created one section code, and this is only applicable for TDS. Business place and section code criteria they have created in SAP. So I have created one section code here, and now with this withholding tax will be calculated by a system. It is simulated. And here the accounting entry posted after deduction of TDS amount, which is 2000 rupees. Now our TDS is posted to this GL account 100810, TDS on rent payable 1 lakh rupees. JCB Merchant Limited is debited with the is credited with 98,000. So we are paying to this vendor 98,000. 1 lakh rupees is booked in a rent expense account, and 2,000 is the payable account created for this payment to government for this TDS amount, and it is based on the percentage which you have applied over there, 2%. Any doubt, any query to this?
It's showing some error message still exists. What is that?
Yes, it is a text type of error that I'm trying to see what type of error it is. It is showing even still there is some error message. Okay, but not giving any kind of detail like that. So sometimes SAP is running some nodes. They are changing some configuration setting. They are changing in the background, and they are running some nodes over there. So when they are running some nodes, due to those nodes, some configuration in background has been changed. So based on we have configured the system in a particular time period, okay, and if something has been changed in the background, we have to check where the SAP nodes has been applied, and then we have to again do the configuration on that part, so that this nodes will be applicable to our company code. So that node I have to check it out, what node has been applied by SAP and in what area that needs to be updated. That system is giving you the required result. This is a testing server. So in this testing server, there are so many users have done some configurations, some based on that, some SAP, also running some nodes over there. So there may be possibility due to that this error will coming. We just have to check what SAP nodes they have, applied, and what is the change is required in system for that perspective. But when in live scenario, in actual environment, this will happen only after your approval. Means it will come to the developer first of all, any SAP nodes which needs to be updated in SAP. that will come to Weber first, and then after his notice only it is going to be run in SAP and changes will be done. So on that case, you will be having the knowledge about what SAP notice is applied and what is the change we need to do in SAP. Right now we have to check in this testing environment. So any issue to this while we have deducted TDS while making payment to the vendor? Oh, sorry, booking invoice to the vendor.
No, sir.
Vishesh or Shri?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So this is how we can deduct the TDS while making invoice. But I have also tried today. Just yesterday I have changed everything, but it was working. Today I am just trying to post payment directly to the vendor and trying to capture the withholding tax amount. That was not capturing. Somehow it was not taking it out. So that we will do tomorrow. After I will check it out why it is not happening. So last part is pending. This one.
Posting vendor payment.
So today what we are going to do, the next chapter is related to dunning, which we are going to complete. And now dunning is, what is dunning? So do you know about dunning? What is dunning?
Which chapter, sir?
Dunning, D-U-N-N-I-N-G.
The collection from customers.
Yes. It's all about collection for customers. Generally, India, I have worked in 4 companies. You may be also working in SAP, some of the companies, but the procedure of collecting payments from the customer is something we are just asking marketing department. There are some, invoices are pending, which will be booked in the system, and then we are trying to get it done through our marketing department. You follow up karo usme, and after following up, just get the payment done. Right? And that we are getting it out. Or we are, making bank to give them loan, and then we are getting the payment from this, from our customers. But yes, in SAP, there is a process through which you can, you can give notices to your customers for giving you the payment. So what is dunning is all about? Just it is collecting payment from the customers. So how you are getting it collected? First of all, the collection is happening based on, based on whatever aging it is happening or whatever payment terms you have discussed with the customer. Like that way, if you have discussed with the customer, just this payment terms, 15 days, 2%, 30 days, 1%, and if after 31 days you are paying it out, there is no discount which is allowed to the customer. Okay, so in that way you have you have created one payment terms which is agreed with the customer. So customer can pay as per the agreed terms of payment. But if you want it earlier, you can send notices to the customer that this 2% discount is available if you will pay within 15 days. So if you will send these notices through emails, okay, or through printed form to the customers, then he may pay you earlier basis. And there may be possibility that you are trying to get the payment from the customers, but 31 days is also passed out and he is not paying it to you. So there may be possibility in that case, how you are dunning or how you are collecting the payment from the customer. First of all, you will just ask him, it is 15 days as per terms of payment, 2% discount. Now you have passed, you are going to pass 30 days. It is 1% discount if you are paying before 30 days of the document date. And now if 31 days pass, you will ask just pay it because of it is overdue. And then finally, if he is not paying after 40 days, 30 days or 70 days, like that way, you are serving him legal notice. But legal notice is a last remedy to get the, receive the payment. So how we are going to get the payment done from the customers? We are just giving him notices. We are sending them mails. We are following up through mails. So generally in India, we are following up through mails only, and we are having some default type, letters defaulted. Default letter has been created, and that letter we are sending to every customer after getting some line items from SAP. We are extracting some line items, just like I've told you, through FBL5N. You can get the customer line items details from the system, and we are extracting that detail, converting it in Excel, attaching to this in the mail ID and sending it out. But in SAP, you can also do it. You have to create some printouts. You have to create some notices. There are some SAP formats which SAP has designed for getting payment like that way. So dunning is the process through which you are collecting the payments. This process you need to map in SAP, and when you will map in SAP, when you will run on the period basis, like on 15 days, 20 days, something like that, system will generate these type of letters for your customers, like date, okay, and the responsible person, what is the vendor code, then the detail on the name on the address of the customer. Then this is first dunning letter. So there are levels. Like that way, when you are collecting payment from customer, there are levels. Like first of all, you will just ask respectfully. Then after you are you are giving some pressure. Then finally you will ask that it is overdue. You have to pay. You are liable. And then after you are also asking them that it is overdue by 20 days, 30 days. Now you have to pay me some interest on the amount. Okay, and finally, if you will not pay it, then you will serve the legal notice, and that is not through SAP, that is something else. So here we also have to map. Here we also have to create the levels. First level, easy letter. So just you are asking them. The invoice listed below are due for payment. If you have paid this amount due in meantime, please disregard this letter sincerely. Then after second letter, you will ask, these are the payment due date has already been over. There's no discount will be available to you. Please pay. Third letter, no discount is available. Payment is overdue. Just try to make the payment within 3 days of time from the receiving of this letter. Okay, and then after you will just serve legal way or any other way to get the collection done. So these are the levels which you need to create in SAP, and then after creation, system will generate after when you will run this dunning process in SAP, system will generate these letters, and you can
drafting of this letters we will have to do it manually, or system will give it.
System is having system designed this format. This format is already designed. Or you can also ask your developer, your printer team. Developer team can also design this for your team. Okay, in a different way. System is designed in this way. First dunning letter, second dunning letter, third dunning letter. The format will be looking like this. System will capture the customer detail here, the customer code here, the date, on whatever date you are extracting this printout from system, and then these are the specific lines, specific format. These are the specific standard lines which is written in every dunning letter, and then after system is extracting these details. What is the document number? What is the document date? What is the currency amount? Due date? What was the document due date as per payment terms? And then what are the areas? Number of days? How many days has been passed from that day, from the due date? So this is the format which is SAP design. You can change it according to your requirement. But yes, for this you need to take a help from your developer. But if you want to take from SAP standard, this is standard format available. If you want to customize, you can do customization as well. Okay, now I think all you understood what is dunning.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So now the process which we are going to follow for a mapping of dunning process in SAP is what? First of all, we have to create the dunning area. Like that way, anywhere we have created some business area, okay, some company code, like that way. This is also a master which we are going to create in system dunning area. Then we are going to create dunning keys. Okay, so what type of dunning we are going to process, what type of data we are going to capture from system for dunning process. Then block reason means on what could be the block reasons in system. System is having some block reasons. Like in vendor, I have updated R as a block, payment block. So after verification of invoice, your senior would be able to remove that block from system so that you can make the payment to the vendor. Okay, system will always give you an error message, a yellow message that this vendor is having a payment block, R is applied. So like that way you will be aware about that, yes, I'm making a payment to a vendor who is having a block indicator. In the same way, there are some indicators which has been created for payment received from customers. So what are those block indicators created? If you want to use those block indicators, you can use. But in customer, we can't take a block indicator. We always want that our customer will pay to us on time. This is a procedure. Like that way, we are going to define the procedure. We have defined the procedure for withholding tax, okay, and for TDS. We have defined the procedure. In the same way, we are going to define the procedure how the dunning process will be carried out in system, okay. How the dunning levels will be carried out, what are the dunning levels, on what type of dunning levels are there, okay, on what days it is going to be captured, what type of items to be taken print out, is there interest going to be charged or not going to be charged, are you going to charge dunning charges also from the customer. So that we are going to define the levels, charges, and the minimum amount on which amount system will capture. So like this is the invoice. So this is the data which has been captured by system while taking printout for first dunning letter. So here you can define what is the minimum amount system will capture. 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 10 rupee, 20 rupees, or whatever type of amount, what amount would be a limit amount for the follow-up. So in a company who is having turnover of 500 crore, he will not bother about collecting an amount which is having in thousands. They are mostly worried about to collect amount which is there in lakhs. So that you can give whatever the minimum amount through which a notice can generate or notice cannot generate. Define text. So whatever text we are going to write over there, okay, while making whatever text, like this is the format. First dunning letter, there is a format. Second dunning letter, there is a format. So what format you are going to utilize, that you have to define over there. And then the SAP standard format are there. This is the SAP standard format. And then you have to define separate GL, special GL indicator if you want to consider it. Otherwise, not. And then process study in SAP. So this is the process which we are using to take printouts or notices. You can convert it in PDF as well. So this is the process through which you can take the notices from SAP for whatever customer accounts you are having open items in system, as on date, as on period. So through this you can get the printout, get the all letters created from SAP and just bifurcate those letters in PDF form one by one and send these notices directly to through mail ID to your customers. So now that was a period after before 5 years back when we are sending hard copy letters. We are taking printout from the system and then we are sending those notices on hard copy to the vendors. But currently we are sharing those items or those letters on mail ID only. So now that we can convert in PDF, and after PDF conversion we can share these PDF files or notices to the customer directly on mail ID. So now I'm just going to show you how we are going to create this in SAP. SPRO. Account receivable, business transaction, and now this is process done. So first item, define area. So these are the areas which has been defined so far by different users. Okay, so what we are going to do, we can create our company related dunning area. So C101, like that way I've created only one dunning area, which is C101 C1 domestic customer. So I'm just going to create one more. C101 is the company code which we are going to capture. C2 and domestic customers, so we are going to create foreign customers. Okay, once I've created for domestic, now I've created for foreign customer. So this is how you can just create a dunning area here in system. I get it. Just a master, just you have created a business area. 3 fields only you have to enter over there, and then this is also the mapping with the company code with your dunning area is done with this, because of you have created against the company code. Any issue? So, okay, now I'm moving to the next phase where we are going.
Sir,
Yes,
what is the T code for this?
T code. T code. मुझे भी याद ही करना पड़ेगा, एक मिनट. OB61.
OB61, okay.
OB61, then for defining keys OB17, and then for defining dunning block reasons OB18. Okay, so I'm now just going to the next option, which is defining dunning keys. Okay, so in SAP they have defined some dunning keys in system by default. It is standard creation of dunning keys 1, 2, 3, and then last. So what system is saying, print step, print separately. If you will mark this at maximum level dunning key, this is the key, this is the dunning key 1, 2, 3, 4. So there could be a step 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are the levels which you are going to create. First level, second level, third level. Like one first level dunning letter, second level dunning letter, third level dunning letter. So there could be you are going to increase the pressure on every letter or on every level. So these are the levels which system generated 1, 2, 3, and the last level Z, where payment is made and a separate line item need to be displayed, like for payment made by the customer. So if you are selecting this step, print, so then system will create separate printout, separate line item for this, for every line item which is liable for making payment. If you will not create, if you will not want to take printout at first level, you can skip. But if you want to take printout at every level, you can take this. So what system will do, if you will check these items, system will print out every line item separately. Otherwise, system will give you one total value. It will not check it out. So at the first level, at the first time, we just do internal discussion. Like on 15 days, if you are doing first dunning, right? You have sold something, and after 15 days you are doing first dunning. So as per payment terms, whether it could be 15, 30 and 31 days. The payment terms is 15 days 2%, 30 is 1, and 31 is 0. So in that way you will going to internally discuss first dunning. So these are the payments which needs to be get it done from customers. But yes, for getting the payment done on earlier, you need to give discounts. So that is a cost. So whether we are going to incur that cost or we are not, on that basis company is deciding or finance department is deciding whether we will follow starting from dunning 1 or from dunning 2 or from 3 or 4. So that level company is going to decide. But in system, if you will mark this, system will create separate line item for all levels, and you will get the printout. And this is SAP generated. You don't need to create one. Just check it out and move ahead. So next is the block reason. This also is something we just go through. Like I have told you that in vendor master we have created some block reason, R, invoice verification. In the same way, here is also blocked by invoice verification. So these are the reasons which SAP standard has created for blocking a payment received. So for blocking a receipt from the customer, they have created some block reasons why you don't want to receive the payment from the vendor. Dispute item, block reason H, block due to complaint against vendor. So these are specifically created for vendor. Every company is using these block reasons for vendor payment. I will never use any terms to block the payment received from customer. Okay, so these are just just standard created items You just can go through these items. But yes, this we are not going to use it, or any company is not going to use these block reasons specifically for customers. And dunning is the process which we are using for customers, not for vendors. Okay, so now this way we have defined these basic settings like keys, keys, and this dunning area and block reasons. Now we are going to define dunning procedure. Okay, just click on this option, and the T code which has been mentioned, what was that? For dunning procedure, T code is FBMP. Okay, just click on this option of dunning procedure, and now there are so many options shown in dunning procedures created in system. We need to create our own one. So how we are going to create? Just I am going to show you one which is created, and now then we are going to create our own, so that we can discuss one by one line item why we have captured one thing and why another left. So these 3 steps we have done. Now we are going to do the rest of these steps for configuration. So why? So FBMP is the T code, okay, through which you can define this, maintain this dunning procedure in system. So first of all, when you will enter, you have to enter here dunning procedure code name. So C020 is the code which you have mentioned here. Now the name CE means for CET, 4 level dunning in every 2 weeks. What I'm saying so every 14 days, after passing every 14 days, this dunning procedure will run and take the whatever line items are open in customer ledger and prepare dunning notices based on the due date. So whatever dunning intervals we are taking, 14 days. So every 14 days this cycle will run the system. So every 14 days we will run this cycle, and after running this cycle, system will capture all the open items which are there in customer ledger and then prepare the dunning notice. Number of labels running. We are taking 4 labels of dunning. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are related to where we can specifically pressurizing one by one. Where we are making pressure at after 1 letter, we are going to make pressure. We are going to increase the pressure at level 2, then 3, and then 4. So this servability which we are going to create while asking payment from the customer. So minimum total due items from dunning level. So we are not entering any value here, so that we can capture all the items which are open in the customer ledger. Now minimum days in arrears. So 7 days we are taking in arrears. So if any line item in a customer ledger is past 7 days of the payment of the due date, then in that case we are going to capture that total ledger, whatever line items are there in that ledger. If any item has passed this date, and then line item grace period. So 1 day grace period we are offering. Okay, 1 day system will not generate dunning notice, but after passing that 1 day, system will generate on the date of running. If this if 14 days has not been passed, like in the payment terms, and 15 days we are going to run. So on that day, system will not generate any notice. But after passing that 15 days, if on 16th we are running it, system will create a dunning notice from system for that particular customer. Interest indicator, we are just taking a standard item calculation of interest calculation. We are just taking a standard method for calculation of interest, simple interest. Public holiday calendar. So while calculating number of days due dates, what calendar system will capture? So it is Indian holiday calendar, which is created in SAP standard system. So whatever gadgeted holidays are there, that has been considered as holiday in Indian calendar, which we are capturing. So through this, system will calculate due date, and then standard transaction dunning. So now if I will check this box, that means system will take only normal transaction for processing. Like it may possible you have received some advance from customers. System will not consider those line items while creation of your dunning notice. System will only consider the items which are normal and open. Okay, that's why I have not taken this special transaction. And another option, this is last option, and this option is saying you dunning even for the credit account balance. Means a customer would be having always debit balance or credit balance. Shekhar?
Normally it will be debit balance.
Right? So it will be
Yeah.
having a debit balance. But
Yeah.
if you will check this box, that what means dunning even for the credit account balance. So if the customer is having open line item and he is having a credit balance in it, system will again generate the notice. I think this is not good. This is not correct. We will ask from the customers to pay item which is open and which is debit. Okay, which is income. So if you have already paid to us, then in that case only customer is going to be credited. If he's paid us the advance amount or if he is paid some extra amount to us, then in that case only his balance is credit. So in that case we are not going to ask him whether pay it again or whether we are going to send him the notice that this is the credit amount line item lying in our customer ledger, kindly pay it on time. So that's why we are not going to take this option. System is giving that option, but you don't need to consider. Anything in this first tab? Shekhar, Ashitab?
No.
Okay. So next is one by one we have to go by these these tabs available. Dunning level. So dunning level is created. Dunning level is 1, 2, 3, 4. Standard as SAP is giving you 4 levels of dunning you can do. So every another level will be stringent. Okay, stringent to the first level. So one is days in arrear. If 1 day in arrear, okay, 1 day amount after due date, 1 day has been passed. So first dunning, normal notice. If 14 days passed, like 14 days we have given the 14 days arrear. So on 15th day, dunning level 2 notice will be served. Okay, some is stringent. Then on third level, 29th day, if it has been passed from the due date, system will generate third level notice, which is more stringent. And on fourth day, fourth dunning level, system will generate the notice which is having interest amount also calculated on this. So in this notice, you will also ask from customer that if you are not paying by that day, so you have to pay us the interest amount on the balance payment, balance in your account. So here you are asking for system to calculate the interest. Before that, you are not asking to calculate the interest. It's up to you. It's up to the company policies, procedures on what time or on what level they are asking for calculation of interest. You can have this interest calculation at starting from this level as well, from third level. But it is depend on. So whatever the company's policy, through that company policy you can configure this. Then printing parameters, always done. So always system will done means system will take the open items and take the printout. So at every level you can get the printout, or you want to get just internal report at this first 2 levels. You don't want to follow up to the vendors, and then after you just want some notices to be generated from system and sending it to the customers. So you can select these options. Print all items. So what time you want to get it, print all items, what time you just want to get a notice with the balance amount only. So this is something based on the requirement you can select these options. Okay, and then the payment deadline. So at the first level, first 3 dunning, you are not asking that way, just pay within 3 days time. At the last dunning level, you are going to ask to the vendor, just pay within 3 days of time. Otherwise, you will charge more interest or penalty or something like that. Your language would be like that. Okay, so in this way, you can configure this dunning levels. Okay, and this is the options where legal procedures will be also captured in in the document. So generally we are not sending legal notices up to it is having a long due date or the customer is not responding or something happened. So in SAP, we are not going to generate the legal notices, but yes, option is available there. You can collect this. The next part is creation of your charges. So how you are going to create charges? Give currency here, INR, which is Indian currency, and then the dunning level we are mentioning here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dunning level we are created here, and then the dunning charges. So at 4th level dunning, when we will do 4th level of dunning to the customers, then we can charge 1%. So this is the this is the dunning charge percentage I am mentioning here. That can be changed based on the policies of the company. It could be 1, it could be 0.5, it could be 2%, 3%, or it could be like that you are going to charge dunning charges from starting from level 2 or from 1 or from 3. It depends on the company policy. So I'm just giving here at the 4th. Okay, and then the minimum amount on which you want to capture the line items in your dunning notices. So I've just first level 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 10 rupee, 30 rupee. This is also dependent on the the minimum amount which is considered by the company for dunning or for creating a notice to send to the customers. So it depends on company to company. And then finally, the dunning charges means the letter format. So SAP has generated some formats. SAP has created some formats you can directly use those formats like the dunning form. This is a simple dunning form. No, no extra stringent, no extra pressure. And then there is an option where dunning form with interest. So these forms also you can create, you can customize in SAP through your developer if required. And then there are two basic forms available. One is dunning form, which is normal, and one is dunning form with interest. So at the last level, I have taken the second option with interest because of here we are going to charge interest from the customers, and in first 3 levels normal form. So in this format would be like this. Actually, the printer has not been configured in this system, so that's why I can't show you the print preview. But preview will be look like this. This is I have captured from SAP letters. So this is the format which system will generate. So when you will configure this, these formats are standard format, and system will generate like that way when you will run finally. Anything now, I'll just going to create this for you guys.
Sir, is it possible to edit that dining forms?
Yeah, it is possible to edit those.
Okay.
But yes, not you, because of we are not technical guy who can edit those forms, those formats. This is something a developer can do. From background, he just write some language and through which the data is captured in some printouts.
Okay.
So this is not you or a finance guy can do. This can be done by the developer only. But yes, you can share the format to him, what format you require, and that format he can map.
Okay, sir. Right.
So now I'm just going to create a new dunning process so that you can also understand how it can be created. Click on new procedure. Give the code here. So C030 I'm creating. Now enter this text. CE 4 levels of dunning. Every 14 days or 2 weeks. Dunning intervals 14 days. Number of dunning levels 4 we have discussed. Now minimum areas 7 days. Line item grace period 1 day grace period is allowed. Interest indicator, just I have told you standard interest calculation. Generally in companies they don't do this, but yes, this is system applicability. If company is having a policy and that policy is discussed with the customer, you can charge interest as well. So system is calculating on a simple rate interest basis. And then the calendar, public holiday calendar. So for India, whatever calendar is applicable for Indian company, that we are going to capture. Like for India, something has created IN. Okay, and then here is standard transaction only, which we are going to done by this procedure. Here the system need to capture the text part. So the same which we have created here, C003. So I'm just going to enter the same account, same running procedure which I am creating here. Then running levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and system based on the 14 days areas which you have given at the first step, system is calculating these running areas time period 1, 15, 29th and 14th. Then calculate interest and what level. So you can take these two levels or you can consider only one level. At this level only system will calculate interest. Always done. Consider all the line items for sending notices to the customer or anyone, any to anything. Print. All levels will get the printout. Payment deadlines, yes, you will not ask payment deadline in these three levels, you can ask only here. So I'm just taking 4 days. So within 4 days, I will ask customer at the 4th dunning level, please pay me before end of 4th day. Legal notice we are not considering. The next one is charging. So for charges, system is asking you currency. So in case of foreign currency, we will give you foreign currency. In case of Indian, we can give Indian. So this is dunning for Indian customers. When we create dunning for foreign customers, we can give the currency as per the customers configuration. Use foreigner customer. So dunning level 1, 2, 3, 4. Amount you can mention here. From what amount, or you can mention here the charges only. 0, 0, 0 and then 1. Just it. Minimum amount 1, 2, 3 and 4. And here you can mention the minimum amount and the percentage of interest. So what is the minimum amount? Say for example 1 rupee, or it could be 10,000. 10,000, percentage is 0, 20,000, 30,000, and then final 1 lakh. Like that way, you can enter minimum amount. On that basis, on 4th level, only 1 lakh amount on, and 1 lakh amount is the minimum amount on which system is going to calculate the interest. Okay, so after applying these charges, go to the running text. This company code is C101. For this company code, we have to create this running notices format. Account type is customer, and here 1, 2, 3, 4. Procedure for domestic, we are going to create C1, C1, C1 and this C1, and then the forms. So if the standard is having some forms, like I have told you, running form first. So this form we are going to capture for all the line items apart from last, where we have to ask customers that they will be charged some interest on that part. Where is IN? Okay. So through this way you can create the dunning process in system, and after mapping, just you need to 1, 2 that I also given here. Okay, this can be removed. The line item. Okay, so this is how you can create the procedure in SAP, and then we just have to run this T code for dunning, and after that system will create the printout. Any issue while creating this process in SAP?
So is this something the system will take it out after the due date automatically?
Due date, yeah, system will take the due date and create the notice automatically, but that running you have to do. Like, the T code for running is, I will do it the next day, but F150. Okay, This is dunning history, dunning notice, individual dunning notice which we are going to create. So this dunning process, when we will run this process, this procedure we will run, on that basis system will take whatever vendor, whatever customer code you are going to capture in this. System will ask you whatever customer code you want to capture in this dunning notice, and then after system will calculate. Okay, today we are creating dunning notice. So today whatever payments has the net due date, and after net due date whatever areas has been happened, okay, whatever days areas has been considered, and on that basis system will create the notices. So system will calculate based on the net due date which is assigned to that particular vendor customer. So in customer master there is a due date based on terms of payment applied to that customer. BL5N customer. Okay. Company code. These are the line items. In that net due date, yes, this is net due date. So from this net due date, system will calculate whatever areas has been happened on that date, and then after system will give you these notices generated. So whether the new date has been already passed and that 7 days has passed for any line item. In a ledger, in a customer ledger, it could be several line items. It is not like that every line item has been passed that new net due date. It is something, if any line item has been passed, system will generate a due date notice, dunning notice. So system will calculate based on this net due date. The arrears days, and then it will calculate. So whether a customer can be done, can be created a dunning notice for the customer or not, depends on the net due date and the procedure which you are mapping. So if you are mapping 1 day, dunning level 1 is 1 day. So if this one day has been passed, then system will generate. But you have also mentioned a grace period of 1 day. So then in that case system will not generate. If it will be more than 2 days, then system will generate a dunning notice for the customer with all the line items due for the payment. Anything else? Okay. So what we will do, tomorrow we are going to run this process. Okay, run this T code for creation of dunning notices in system. How we can create dunning notice in system. There is only one T code through which we can run and get it done. And the other part of payment document, I will just check what somebody has changed. So that payment document we will also post with withholding tax deduction. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you for joining. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.